made it back up to the house site because it stopped raining finally. And I know you're probably thinking, well, how are you going to make it up to the house site when you live here if it's raining? Well, we're not done with the driveway. It still needs a lot of TLC, but we made it up here. We still have a few dead trees to take out and 2 live ones.
Yep.
2 live ones. So we're gonna work on that now.
Okay. Let's show some of the dead ones that are of concern. That one. This one. Let me plow into these trees real quick. Okay? All right.
Getting caught on every tree. I can't stand cedars. John switched buckets. He's gonna dig it out now. This is the right tool. Was that a body slam? I don't know. John's mad at that tree. John. This one's stubborn.
Yeah, guys, we have so many trees on this property that are just like down or like they're on their way out or something like that. I don't see us ever having to take down like a live tree or
For
a tree
firewood.
that's not sick or something is wrong with it. Yeah, just for firewood. It's like, oh, that's a nice tree. Let's take it down, cut it up. It's like unless you're like really obsessed with what type of wood you're burning because of the aroma or the heat, but we're not going to be. We're going to be having a wood boiler that's going to power or heat our domestic hot water, meaning our like water in the house that we use to shower and do dishes, like all that stuff with. So hot water inside the house. And we're also going to do a heat exchanger for the in-floor heating that will be thermostatically controlled. So we need a lot of wood, and we're following those new EPA guidelines as far, well, you have to, if you want to purchase a new wood boiler for a new home, you need to follow these EPA approved wood boilers, which there aren't too many of them out there. But anyway, it's going to be an efficient thing to use, and we have so much wood, we might as well use it. So I'm just discussing with Meg here what to do with all this wood laying around. I don't want to just create piles and piles and piles of mess. Like, we could cut them down to a common size and get nice stacks going, because a log this thick around is going to take a couple years to dry out good enough for the wood boiler. So yeah, with that said, Meg, why don't we process some of this stuff?
Since our plan right now is to do a wood boiler, we were going to go completely solar with our water heating, but we are deciding against that now for various reasons. We'll get into that another time. But anyway, we're talking with different wood boiler companies, and we're pretty sure and confident we're going to go with that direction. So now that we have all of this wood laying around, my suggestion is, John, so we can use all of the hardwoods. The cedar we can't use in the wood boiler. But we are going to have a fire pit up here. True. What if we make two piles? What if we have all of the cedar in one pile for the fire pit, and then all the rest in piles for the wood boiler?
Yeah, cedar meaning like just smaller diameter cedar.
Well, we could split it.
Yeah, I know. We're going to be using some cedar inside the house too, though, so we will be milling some cedar.
Yeah.
So we're doing shingles. We're also doing some just some ceiling stuff and decorative stuff with cedar inside the house. Excuse the dogs, they're in play mode right now.
Whenever there's mud, they like to wrestle.
It's called mud wrestling, Meg.
Yeah. All right, well, why don't we start trying to make sense of this mess we have here now. We're taking out these little maples because they're too close to the house. Remember how Marvin said you could put stuff around the leach field tunnels so that roots wouldn't grow near them? Can we do that around the foundation of the house?
I think it's copper sulfate.
Can we do that? Just a thought. Wow, John.
Yeah.
That looks great.
Well, it's the primer using rusty metal.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how this stuff works, but I think it's really cool. The metal the rust actually helps the primer.
Yeah?
So all this iron oxide here,
Uh-huh.
it kind of like chemically reacts with this primer somehow.
Oh.
You don't have to remove the rust. It's oil-based. Oh, it's drying pretty quick. Yeah, I figured I'd do a little bit while it was cool, but I'm getting blasted by the sun here.
Yeah, it'll be on the other
Sorry
side of
about
the trees in a second. The green is going, folks.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to the green.
You know, I must say, green's my favorite color, but not that one. I like to see how far back I can establish the screen.
Yeah, because it's not expensive or anything. Another day up at the house site.
Another day, another $25 in the skid steer. How much was it for 5 gallons?
I don't know.
I think our diesel's $4.35, $4.39 now. That's not terrible. It's bad.
Look what we got. Another dead tree. This one needs to come out. And we are tentatively going to say we're doing a driveway circle.
Yeah.
We're doing a roundabout. It's going to go
Here, let me show you.
that way.
Let me show you.
And around. John's going to... House is going over there.
Go around the driveway.
John's going to show you where we plan on doing the driveway. And over there, it'll be like right at the corner of the house. Ooh.
I did that for you, Meg.
So this tree and this little guy need to come out because it'll make for a much smoother way.
Yeah, this one's staying. This is
This way and that way.
This one?
That one's gonna stay.
I got the scary branch down, Meg.
Oh, good.
Which I could like lift you in the bucket and you could chop off the rest if you want.
No, I don't want. So we're gonna take out these two, and then the driveway is gonna go right here and have like a teardrop shape around that grouping of trees.
Be pretty.
It will. We can have like a little garden there.
Yeah, it'll be a nice shade garden. Maybe put some hostas that the deer can eat.
It'll be a deer salad bar. Okay, so we're gonna work on this tree next.
Okay, so I am digging at that stump and I got this machine cranked up around 70 to full throttle, 70% up to 100%. And it's working really nicely. Now, one of the problems I ran into with this machine, it's always been a problem with this machine, is when it's at higher RPMs, the curl function on the bucket, so when the bucket goes in and out like this, the curl function, number one, is super sensitive, but more annoyingly, it wanders on you, which means if I'm curling it in to me and I want it to stop, and I just let the control go back to its normal neutral position, if you want to call it that, it will continue to wander. And then it's like, okay, I got to push it the other way a little bit. Then it goes down and starts wandering the opposite direction. So it's definitely a problem. I believe that's a symptom of a hydraulic leak inside of the the curling cylinder, which would be this guy right here. So that cylinder, and I'm glad that Meg broke the backhoe and we fixed it last episode because it gave me confidence to take it apart, look at it, understand it, and really get my feet wet with working with hydraulics. These are the same way. So there's oil coming in from the pump and it goes through these hoses. This is a little different because there's a hose here and a hose here on the same side, And then this is permanently fixed. I don't know where this comes from. Where's it? Oh, okay, okay. I see what it's doing. So this hose, it actually connects and shoots the fluid in here, the oil. This one gets shot into here. You can't see it, but there's a bar back here that it goes around. It's just mounted right here. So anyway, probably for protection purposes. So the way these things work, it's so simple. You have a hydraulic pump, that stuff's pumping the fluid. Now, oil, depending on where you put your joystick, is going to be directed through here or through here. And inside is basically a sealed end. At the end of this shaft, there's a big section that just gets forced this way or it gets forced this way. On that shaft, there's a number of O-rings and seals and everything else. If there's the tiniest imperfection in one of those seals, where it's like got some debris from the oil, or it's just like over time wears out, they're just rubber and plastic, it will allow fluid to go through when you don't intend it to. So if it's pushing it from this side, it's allowing some of that oil on the other side of the cylinder and causing funky stuff to happen. Or if you tell it to rest, this fluid still is like pushing down because it can get through. So that's why it's moving on me. And I want to replace these things. I just need to pick a good time to do that. But I wanted to demonstrate to you the difference. So the lifting arms are on different hydraulic cylinders and they work perfectly. And I could be really precise with those when I raise and lower the arms. But with this thing, I can't be as precise. If I barely bring it in and curl it up a little bit, it shoots up on me. It's super sensitive and I want to fix that. And I think replacing the seal kits or just doing a rebuild kit on these cylinders would be the way to go. So I know that was a lot of information. Let me just show you. So I'm going to turn on, just show you how it works as far as lifting up and down. And I'm going to try to like crank up the machine and just go super slow up and super slow down. But I have a point to all this. I'll tell you that after I show you. So that's idle. That's 50. That's about 70. All right? All right, watch up and down how easy it is. Nice and easy. That's the reason I don't full throttle this machine most of the time, because I don't have accuracy curling up and down. When I need the power, like I'm digging this thing out, I'll use it, sure. But I've read the operator's manual, and it doesn't say you have to run this machine full throttle. Use it to your discretion as far, that's why there's a throttle handle.
So the curl should be as smooth as the lift is.
Yeah.
And you think the problem is the cylinder?
I do.
Needs to be rebuilt.
Especially since it was drifting. When it's drifting, it's allowing pressure. Even when you tell this ram to stop and the pump is no longer pumping through these hoses, it's still like that pressure that's inside the cylinder is sneaking through and causing it to drift a little bit.
So if you rebuild it, you should be able to run full throttle and have very smooth action.
You should, but Takeuchis are notorious for sensitive controls. I've gotten used to them. I don't know what to expect with the sensitivity of the curl, but it shouldn't be drifting on you at all, ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing to test, and I wanted to share this with you guys. If anyone has never purchased a skid steer before, this was the first one I've ever bought. And I ran this thing. I mean, you're driving someone else's machine, but you got to get in there, warm it up. And if you can, tell the guy, do not warm up the machine before I get there. You want to cold start that thing and see if it's burning any engine oil. And you want to hear it idle and everything else. So start the machine, get in it to test things, crank that sucker up to 100. Or like 80 to 100, somewhere in there, and then test your controls. If you see wandering, or if something just doesn't feel right, like I lift the booms up, leave it. Bring it halfway, leave it. Curl it, leave it. Curl it the other way, leave it. If there's any wandering in any of that, you have a hydraulic leak in your cylinder and you're going to need to rebuild it. So, and that's not the end of the world, but it could be something that you could negotiate with the seller. So heads up on that. Learn from my mistake. I should have done that, but I probably still would have bought the machine.
Yeah. You just know a lot more now than you did. Did you buy the rebuild kit yet?
No.
You didn't. Are you going
No.
to?
Each cylinder rebuild kit I found online, there's a couple different websites. It averages around like $50 to $60 per cylinder. So each cylinder comes with 4 or 5 different O-rings and bushings and things like that. So it all, I mean, I'll do that. I'm going to be, it's something to look out for in the channel. I'm going to be rebuilding this cylinder. I'm just going to guess one of the other. I'm probably just going to do both of them so they're both good to go. But one or the other, I don't know which one, is causing the issue. I think it's this one, because once in a while I hear a little bit of something in this one, and this one seems to be behaving, but I don't know. I think that's good information. I hope it helps somebody out.
There it goes. That's great. Yeah, that's not good. Shouldn't do that. Good job.
I'll tell you why that's annoying right there. Because if you're throttled up, you're trying to do some grade work, and you want that throttle to be high, your bucket will continue to dip or continue to curl up as you're trying to, like, you know,
move
grade
forward.
a road, and it digs into the soil or it lifts above the soils, and then you have humps and everything. So that's why I want to fix that problem. Did I kill anything I wasn't supposed to?
I don't think so.
It just went that way. I tried to get
There,
like 5 degrees to the left.
it looks like you hit a little maple. Oh, no, was that one already dead?
I don't know. It'll spring back.
No, it won't.
No, not that one. No, I mean like anything over here.
No, I think you're good.
You hit some little guys. Okay, cool. I was worried about hitting one of these big ones.
Nope.
Well, we got just put it on a chain and try to lift up the tree, get the roots out of there instead of trying to push it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been, if that trunk wasn't there, I would have had it.
Yeah, it's got stuck on that tree.
I don't know if I could fell this one either.
Yeah, that one's got to go down.
I mean, it's leaning that way. It's pretty much doing the job for me, but I don't know if I could get down there with all these rocks.
No, there's a pretty jagged one right here. I don't think you can.
We're just finishing up our clearing, and we have a few trees that I started cleaning up, Meg started cleaning up, and like we cleared up mostly everything. Before we do a final cleanup, we want to just remove everything that's coming down, so we don't just clean up the mess and make a whole other new mess. So we have this, well, this wasn't on our list, but I saw it and I was like, we forgot about that one. That was a sick tree that's probably going to die in the next couple of years. And we got a big Widowmaker next to it. I was going to fell it with the chainsaw since most of it's leaning that way anyway. And then there's a couple other ones that are in the vicinity of the house. And then we're good to go. We're good to just clean up everything. And all the dead ones, the Widowmakers, are ash. So we're going to cut all those up for our wood burning stove in the camper for this whole winter. So that'll take care of that. And then we're going to separate a wood pile and chip a bunch of stuff, clear everything up. And finally, hopefully we can get to the point where we're scraping topsoil for the house site.
That'd be great.
We have an announcement to make. It's not a big deal. I'm excited. I went ahead and bit the bullet and bought new sprockets for the skid steer. That's why I'm popping the tracks off all the time. So I'm going to remove it in one of the upcoming episodes, and I want to show you the difference between a really worn out sprocket and the new ones. They just shipped today. I got them from rubbertrack.com, and so far those guys are pretty good. They pretty much shipped the same day. I just ordered them yesterday on Sunday. So 8:02 this morning said it shipped, so I'll keep you posted on that.
You could get it back on. You bumped that rock. That's what happened.
Oh, it's just the bottom idler.
Yeah.
I'll be all right. Prime example, I didn't stage that or anything. It's just, there's so much space between the teeth here on the sprockets, and some of them are even chipped. I'll definitely pop it off and show you when I receive those. I don't know if it'll be this episode, but at least probably, definitely the next one, I'll show you how to change the sprockets. All right, I'm gonna go forward. Keep your eye on that, please, okay?
Yeah.
I need to correct myself. I was wrong. With our episode 100, I was talking about these U-bolts and how to never saddle a dead horse. I thought this was the saddle. I thought this was the cowboy jumping on the saddle. So this side is dead, the side closest to me. Dead meaning it's the end of the line. This U-bolt clamp. See, I thought
it's called a Crosby clamp.
I thought this was the saddle. It looks like cowboy's legs. Like, yeehaw, it's mounting its steed or steer or whatever. Steed? Anyway, this is the saddle. So, your saddle should be on the side that's live, that's the long side, and then when it comes around and goes dead, that's supposed to be the U-bolt side. So I didn't want to pass the wrong bad information, just wanted to take this moment and correct myself. Oh, that's nice. At least the trigger will be lubey. I put at least 2 of these on each. I gotta go get the other one off first. Let's go get that. Mag, is that proper now?
That is correct now.
Alright. As long as you said so.
Alright, so we have this one stuck here. We can't dig it out. That's not working. So we rigged up a set of snatch blocks to this dead tree that's next in line to come out. And we're going to pull it that way. So what it should do is it's going to pull the tree down. Down like that. It's going to pull it down. Hopefully. And then it won't be stuck up there. Right, John?
2 thumbs ups.
pretty close to each other. There we go. Exactly what we wanted to happen. John, we're getting pretty good at this snatch block stuff.
You know what the thing is, Meg? Science always wins.
As long as your equipment doesn't break, science wins.
Yeah. Cool. High five. Good job, Meg. You gonna give me a high five? What was that? A high two?
You were walking away from me. I couldn't reach.
All right, that was good. Cool. Got some nice firewood there. That's maple, baby. That'd be good. Got her sweatshirt off, and it's go time. Right, Meg?
Right. It's gonna get caught.
Oh, yeah. Nice, Meg. All right, what are we doing? Now I made a spaghetti bowl. Meg, I like doing the camera.
You're funny. Whoa.
What's Meg doing? What are you doing, Meg? So this is the this is what's next, guys. This guy right here. Right here. It goes up and up and up. And I want to drop it all between these oaks here. There's 3 oaks. Oak. 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 We'll just put it right there. Right in the middle. Is this a good height, you think?
Yeah. I do.
Try not to force it.
Yeah.
Oh no!
What? Oh no, our anchor. It's not gonna work.
I had a feeling that might happen.
Well, that needed to come out anyway. All right, so sometimes you do need an anchor a little bit stronger.
See, this is where you run into potentially damaging another tree, though, that you don't want to. Like, we could just go to this big oak tree.
But then it's gonna pull toward the oak tree.
Yeah.
But I don't see any other alternative.
It's rubber.
All right, we decided that there's no good way to pull this down. John's gonna cut it down. It's going, John.
Oh, I know.
Oh, you know? John knows it's going. It's going very slowly. Snail's pace, but it'll fall.
Let me help it out.
I don't know if that's doing anything, honey. You're gonna blow on it. This is the slowest felling of a tree I've ever seen. John, just be patient. There's some wind.
It's moving.
doesn't want to go. John's impatient. Just going to hit it with the chainsaw a little. Yeah, I think it's caught up somehow. Finally. All right, next dead tree. Here we come. There it is. John's trying to take off that one branch. That went really smoothly. Wow. Thumbs up, John. Sounds like it's going.
There we go, guys. That's what's left. I took out 2 of the 3. Now we got the big one to deal with.
Yeah.
Right, Meg?
And we put it over there. You'll notice that pink mark on that tree. That is actually our property line. And it goes this way along that tree line. And we fell it that way. And what's really cool is that recently we talked with our neighbor. Their house is far away. They own a lot of land, and they came up here and said, take out whatever you want. If you want to clear this entire thing, go ahead and do it. They thought that since we have a mountaintop home, we should have a mountaintop view. We don't plan on doing that, but we may cut out some windows, and the fact that they just totally left it up to us, and that's all their property, all their wood. They said, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And you don't come across neighbors like that very often.
Not at all.
So that was really a huge surprise to us. And I'm not sure we're not going to do anything with that right now, but it's nice to know that in the future, if we want to open this up a little bit more, we can, because that is a mountain view.
You know, it is nice to know we dropped that tree that way.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's small trees and things like that, and some stuff is going to get damaged. It's nice to know that they don't care about that.
Yeah.
And it's benefiting us because we want to keep these shaggy bark hickories in our front yard. And like, these are just really nice mature trees, this maple, and like all this stuff. We want to keep this intact. We don't want to graze it and break any branches or possibly start, killing the tree.
Yeah. But let me show you really quick. This is the view. You can see it in the wintertime. And we said to our neighbors, well, it's nice that we have a view in the winter, and they said you should have it year round.
Yeah.
Take out whatever you want, which is...
It was just extremely
amazing.
generous.
But it is a really pretty view, and we might open up some windows here and there.
Yeah, open up a little. I don't want to just, make a desert. I want to just take out a couple and plant it correctly. There's going to be big mature trees in certain spots, and there's also like smaller trees. So it's actually good for the forest to eliminate some of the smaller ones. And we'll be able to see, you could actually see it through here already. The leaves are falling. That blueness out there, those are the Clinch Mountains. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get the rest of this down. Here's the plan, guys. We're going to take it, and I'm going to notch it. I just wanted to come over here and show you what this tree looks like. I wound up taking the whole stump out right there. That's the one I was fighting with. But I think that went well, pushing it that way. And this is old wire from fence line, old barbed wire, and it's still in the tree. But I don't think that tree was too happy about that wire, to be honest with you. I really don't. Someone probably put it between these two parts of the tree, and it just grew through it. But you could tell, it affects it.
Let me see.
And then, So here's what I got left, and it is definitely facing our side, which is this way. But I'm thinking if I come to about here, do a wedge right here in the direction I want it to fall. Of course, get our rigs set up first, cut our wedge here, and then start doing a back cut just a little bit and try to give it a pull. If it doesn't go, give it more of a back cut, but definitely have it hooked up to the machine at that point and start pushing it so that we can have it go that way. There's a group of trees here. I don't even know what these are. There's like a whole quad of trees like right there that are just not healthy anyway. So we're gonna drop it right into those. I guess we'll start with our tree removal, take them up on that offer. We'll put the other one right on top of this one. So let's get it set up. Let's go. I'm gonna put a little tension on it just so the tree doesn't want to go that way. I just want to make it taut, okay?
All right. See, the angle of it is kind of like this, and we want it to fall that way. So John's just going to put some tension on it, so we're pulling it this way when he's cutting on it, because there is a little bit of a breeze here, and just to be on the safe side. It was a big one. That was loud.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's a really weird feeling. You're tugging on something with a skid steer,
Uh-huh.
and then all of a sudden you're just able to drive a lot easier.
Oh.
And then at that point,
When it gives out.
Keep going here. That was cool. Pretty good drop, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, here's why I'm going to preach getting a set of snatch blocks. Not everybody has a skid steer or a humongous excavator, backhoe, or bulldozer for that matter. So if you go out and you have a road project like this in the woods and you're pushing down trees and everything else, and you rent that big machine and it costs you $1,000, $2,000 a week to run that thing, and you get it all done, and then it's like, okay, cool, let's go clear the house site or let's move on. You know, projects like this might come up where it's like, hey, I got to remove that huge tree or pull down some dead trees somewhere else. Something else will come up where you're not going to want to spend another like $1,500 or $2,000 renting something for a week or a couple days or whatever to complete that project. So it's really good to have those snatch blocks and to understand how to use them in your toolbox. It's very handy to get trees safely down like we did the other day. We didn't have to rent out or do anything. We just hooked it up to one of our machines, and you could compound those things and use Willie to pull them down for that matter, or just a small pickup truck. So keep that in mind, consider it. You should really just have that knowledge if you're going to be working in the woods and doing something like this.
The equipment seems like a lot to get the wire and the snatch blocks, the shackle. It all adds up, but comparing it to renting heavy equipment, it's a small investment that you can use over and over.
Give yourself like a $300 budget. Buy all that equipment, and you can't rent the machine for $300 a day. You just can't do it.
And it's just good equipment to have in your back pocket for emergencies, like getting your car out of a ditch or like, who knows?
If you're going to be one in the woods and have a property as wooded as ours, trails all over and roads you're building, and who knows what you're doing.
You'll find other uses for it.
You will wish, after you rent that big machine for a couple days and get all of it done at once, you're going to wish that you have those snatch blocks, because something's going to come up that you need to remove and you don't have the muscle to do it. Yeah! All right, we are going to take down these last two trees, and that will complete our tree removal, dead tree, scary stuff going on. So Mom, hold on for just 2 more trees. Okay? So we got one right behind me, which is probably as equally as challenging as the one back there. So yesterday we fell one that was really leaning this way, and we put it down the other way with some cordage. And we have to do that with this one today. Now this one, it's pointing right at all the trees, these beautiful maples and like the shaggy bark hickory and whatever that thing is. It's leaning right at all the trees that we really want to keep. And I don't want to put it off and start building the foundation and then it falls on the foundation or something like that. I'd like to force it that way.
We're going to try to redirect it.
Yep. So, and what that involves is cutting a wedge, doing a back cut again, getting, so, you know, it would fall in that direction, but, you know, it's leaning this way. So you got to get the machine and put cordage on it and pull in the direction. You have to assist it. So we basically want it to go, I would say 90 degrees the way it doesn't want to go.
Yeah, we, like the last tree we did, we made it go 180 degrees from where it was leaning. Now we only have to go 90 degrees. Yeah. So I think it'll be a little bit easier. But this one has like a weird trunk, so. We
have a big oak tree to anchor to, and we're probably just going to put one snatch block in the tree here, up near what Meg calls the crotch, which is the V of the tree. Is that the proper term? It can't be. Hey, look at that crotch up there. So we're going to put it up near the crotch with one of the pull straps, and we're going to head down the trail. And I don't think we need to redirect pulley, so we only need one snatch block and probably one cord, maybe two. Maybe two. Let's do 2. We'll extend that one so I'm further away, Mom. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. And then it's cleanup time. We're going to get Meg with the chainsaw, and it's going to be howdy doody time. Let's go. I'm quirky today.
He's quirky.
Oh, that'll happen. You know, guys, this isn't aluminum. This is stainless steel. My ladder. Do you know that? I'm just that strong. Can you imagine if ladders were made out of stainless steel? Ridiculous. Okay. Oh, that'll happen too. Oh, that'll happen. Yep. Okay. All right. That's the tree. So we got to get at that crotch, as Meg calls it. And I think, so it's going from that crotch to that oak tree right there. And what does that mean? Where do I need to put this? Let's put it right in between these 2 maples. Oh gosh. I'm not good at ladders. People afraid of heights? This segment's for you. Okay, well, that's my tree, and that's where I am. Okay, I'm gonna go 1.5 around. That's a perfect size. We're gonna pull it that way. All right, let's get the shackle in a place where I can screw it in easily. All right, go here and here. Let me show you what we're trying to avoid. So, I know it's hard on camera to see which way it's leaning, but this thing's definitely coming up this way, and it kind of continues that way. And that area is these 2 really nice maples, and there's a couple shaggy hickories and like a couple other things. That's our driveway. Our driveway is going to go around and out. Little teardrop shape, so we want that to be a shade garden. And there's a couple little small trees here. There's a couple pawpaws and maples like right in here, but if we lose a few of those, that's okay. I want that tree Honestly, if it could go right there, land on top of those logs somewhere, that would be nice.
Your earplugs are hanging from the tree.
Where?
Right there.
Oh yeah.
Like a decoration.
Okay, where's my notch going?
You have to plan, John, listen to me. If you're successful with where you want the tree to go, the earplugs should fall.
Okay. Sounds good, Meg. Chainsaw cord. Where's yours?
John, you can't plan and execute much better than that. Your earplugs didn't fall. How did they not fall?
I don't know. I want it on those logs, right? Man,
That's what you
touch any of
said.
these.
Yep.
This guy had a better day.
Yeah, he
Sorry, buddy.
he suffered.
I tried.
But if that's our only sacrifice,
Holy
I think
cow.
we did okay. That worked awesome.
Good work, Meg. Good rigging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Awesome.
Wow. That opened things up a lot right here.
I just feel so much better. That's nowhere near the house. It was, guys, it was leaning that way. I mean, it's almost 90 degrees.
Yeah.
That's,
It was really leaning towards the
75.
house site.
that was cool. Are we-
That worked out perfect. The only thing that didn't go really so smoothly was our anchor. Look at how high it is on the tree now. Since we had the pulley up on the tree so high, it wanted to pull this up, and the strap wasn't long enough for me to do like a double loop around on it, so it rode up like that. But it still worked. I mean, it wasn't really an issue.
That was good.
I'm glad we had the second chainsaw. You want to complain about your chainsaw and say what's going wrong with it?
No, well, I recently replaced this thing. The whole pull cord starter. Remember, I was using the drill. And I bought a new one. Oh, that's what happened. Okay, so
Came through.
yeah. I know this doesn't look like much of a cord, but it is extremely strong. And I need to order the proper pull cordage for this, but yeah. What I need to do is probably just tie a metal nut or something like that instead of a knot.
Yeah.
Both here and at the handle.
So it just pulled through. It didn't break.
Right.
But that's not the pull cord that came with it. The pull cord that came with the replacement assembly here broke
It
very quickly.
frayed and broke. I mean, I wasn't abusing it. I was using it correctly. It just broke.
Yeah.
Brutal.
And then you put another kind of rope on it, and that broke quickly. And now this is try number 3.
Well, this is, I mean, I didn't consider this because it's only like a 1/16 thick. Like, it's very thin. It's like a waxy I used this to tie up a tree that was crooked. Like a small tree or maple in the front.
Oh,
of the
is that
fire
what
pit.
that's from?
That's what this is from, yeah.
Oh.
And it's like, as far as tension, it's so strong. Maybe I could take that apart and do the nut in there. That's all it pulled through the, I need something.
This tree is blocking our way down the mountain, so we have to move it somehow. Last one.
Cut was a little crooked.
A little bit. That's okay.
Yeah. It's not easy, guys. it's hard.
It's gotten much better.
The wedge came out good. I got that nicely done, and then that's a pretty solid tree. That's surprising. Can we stop dropping trees now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's clean up this mess.
Come on. Go by Mom. Go.
What have you got now, John?
Oh, I got a little winch.
Where'd you get it from?
From Harbor Freight. This is the 2,500 pound model. These are pretty good, the ZXR ones. So I'm trying to figure out whether or not to put this on an attachment or final location on the tractor. I don't want to put it on the back of the tractor because I usually have the backhoe there. So, and I don't want to remove the backhoe every time I want to use the winch. So I'm trying to find a spot. Maybe I can mount it or just have some holes here on the forks. And this can easily come on and off and just plug into some jumpers for the power. I don't know. You have any ideas? You see it? It's
well,
not an
if we're
easy
gonna
thing to
if we're
mount
gonna put it on the tractor, I was just looking at this black down here, that part.
What, this? That's
No.
the bumper.
No, not that. Down below. Like, would it fit there?
Yeah, that's 1/4-inch steel there. And actually it's hollow down here. Would it fit there? Maybe. The thing is, you have to mount the winch and then have the fair lead, I think it's called. This thing. They have to be separate. Because this is going to allow you to pull at not a perfect straight. See, this could be mounted off like this, and if you're pulling just a little bit like this, it'll keep it, it won't. So this needs to be in front of this a little bit, so I'm just wondering if we mount the winch here. See, this is the loader, there's nothing else. Maybe we could build off of this bumper here. Something, like a bracket or something like that, and then put the, that way it's permanently on the tractor too. You know, we're doing all of the wood for the house. We're gonna fell those trees and cut those in the colder months here, and that's gonna start very soon. In the meantime, we just cleared the house site. All those dead trees, we fell them away from the house site, most of them. But a lot of logs are just laying in the woods. It'd be nice if we just had this up and running. We could test it out and pull it out and see its capabilities. So this is the 2,500 pound winch, and I just learned this. You might want to upsize this if you're shopping for one, because if you read the manual, it becomes stronger the shorter length of cable you have. So it will pull probably its peak 2,500 pounds when it's only a short distance. When it's longer, there's a whole table in the manual that says like it'll only pull about like 15 to 1,700 pounds if it's fully extended. So just think about what you're pulling and what you're pulling with. Like this tractor is only 1,600 pounds anyway. So I don't want something like a 12,000 pound winch on this thing. I just want something small that's not going to just drag this tractor the way I don't want it to go. I think this is a good size for this tractor. It'll pull the tractor out of a, if I went off road or something like that, but it can probably drag any log that I cut down that we're going to use for our house site. That's why I got this one. It's like not overkill, but it could be bigger too. Why do I have to think about what extend and retract? Like, it's just totally boggling me. Like, in and out would be better. You know what I mean? Like, this one says in and out. I'm like, got it. This one's extend. Extend out. Okay. Retract. Pull it back in. Got it. It's like, I have a concern about using it without the fair lead, without this thing. I think something like to this regard will help our performance. It wants it to be like out here. Manual doesn't say anything, but a lot of people say 10 inches is where you want it to be. But
we'll just point Ricky in the right direction.
I got the cant hook, chain, and I got some death hooks. These I call death hooks.
They're Texas
really called
Chainsaw Massacre equipment.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre hooks. I mean, come on. I think they're called skidding tongs. But this is great for just going, instead of wrapping the chain or rope around the log, you just do that.
It's just a tension thing.
Boom, and you're good to pull.
Physics.
So,
isn't it best to have it at the end of the log so that the log can roll?
I would think like here, if I'm pulling that way. Yeah.
Because it's on a swivel.
I don't know, Meg. We'll figure it out. I mean, I know what it's for, but I don't know how to use it.
What do you think this is, a how-to channel?
I mean, come on. This is how John and Meg did it, and we're going to tell them how to really do it.
In case you guys didn't notice yet, we don't know what we're doing. We just do it and show you.
All right, well, so this thing can go on the log, and I brought this extra chain up here just to be able to, like, connect maybe this one to that, and then this one to the other thing over there, the winch.
What is it called? The winch?
I don't think a hook to a hook is a good connection, so we're going to slip a chain in there somewhere. That's why I brought this extra chain. I'm sure I'll lose it. On. Good. And extend. Oh yeah. Now, if you don't want to take all day, like this is like one of those like staircase things that old people use. You could just
pull the pin and pull it out.
This guy, rotate it 90, and then walk over here. That's a little quicker. Yeah. I don't know why, but these things always remind me of Jurassic Park when Newman is go from this thing here and tie it to that thing there. And
you call him Newman because of Seinfeld?
Yeah. And then he tells the dinosaur he's going to run him over when he comes back down. First test, I'd say.
That did the job.
Yeah. You know, I'm thinking about it. I was like, oh, that'd be an easy test. That's kind of hard. Like all these roots, like going against it.
Yeah, it really was pulling against the ground.
And it pulled it out with all these branches, like rubbing against those other trees and stuff. So.
And uphill.
Yeah. All right, that was a good. Just
Good
kind of
job,
like a
Winch.
controlled test. Yeah, that was good.
That's one that we took down yesterday. We're gonna cut up for firewood. This is firewood that we're gonna burn in the camper wood stove. So we're gonna cut it into firewood size, and we're gonna fill up Willie. We're gonna fill up Willie's bed and then bring it down so it can be chopped up. And what's good is that Willie's bed dumps, so that'll be good.
A few trips.
Yeah. I'm done with that thing. This is like the 5th time in 2 days that's happened.
Let's still try to be productive. Let's get. Okay, good. You read my mind. Let's get Ricky over there, and then we'll winch out some of the stuff lower down. We can still move some big stuff around. Can you lift the boom? That's my girl. All right, we're gonna get Meg over here. Let's see how she does on this rough terrain here. I want her right about in here somewhere. Right here, pointing pretty much at that. I didn't cut that tree down yet, not yet. I want her pointing at that. There's a couple steps behind it. He can go anywhere. Great.
Good?
Yeah, raise up the bucket. All right, good. Yep.
I'm thinking it might not be a bad idea.
Huh?
Just to give Ricky a little bit more strength, put the outriggers down.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know. I mean, you can.
Just so, like, it's not just on the wheels.
You can. You could even extend your backhoe and put the teeth in the ground.
You could, yeah. Here, let's do that.
Gets over that tree, we'll be alright. Plan ahead here. It's like we're always trying to learn new things here.
We always are learning.
If you plan ahead here, and if you lay a log down, just like a 4-foot, just, you know, branch or something about that big,
Yeah.
then it would roll on top of that and it would assist the winch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because right here we kind of have a rock that it's going to get stuck on in a minute.
Yeah. All right,
But we got to switch lines.
Huh?
We got to switch lines.
Yeah, we got to do that, and I'd like to utilize the swivel functionality too. Maybe we can get it pulling from. Yeah, we could get it hooked into here, I bet. Okay. The log under it. Let's see if it rolls like the olden days. All right. Yeah, baby. 'Cause there's a rock right there.
Uh-huh.
Now we'll just leave the death hooks on it, put the chain on there, hook it up. Let's do it. Come on.
All right.
Just...
our way back up to the house site because it stopped raining.
What's so funny?
You're just spitting in the background.
I'm not spitting, I'm letting them fall out of my mouth.
Okay.
See, I'm doing this in the background while Meg's trying to talk. I'm having some sunflower seeds. Gotta monitor your salts. All right, Meg. Sorry, I won't distract you again.
All right.
Ready, go. All right, that's up there.
All right.
Now, Papa, I'm gonna take your ladder down this time. All right? I got yelled at last time, guys. I saw your episode. You didn't take the ladder down. No, he really said, I think that's my ladder. and he said, I don't think he took it down though. For a second, I was like, is it going in? Like, I didn't see it coming up. I was like, am I just oozing down the side or what? That looks nice. As nice as a rope in a tree could look. That's tight. Tight, 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 tight.
Well, you were talking differently, like you do to the camera, not to me.
Yeah, okay. How do I talk to you, baby? Who's my girl?
Keep going.
Who's my girl?
Stop it. Maddie.
It's true.
Yeah, John.
Does anyone remember that scene in Commando when Arnold Schwarzenegger in the beginning is carrying the logs? That's what this is. Although he had 3 and they were much bigger.